It is not easy to be entertaining because I'm a very serious person. If you have seen all my photographs, I hardly smile. And if you know me as a person, I actually do not like to mix with any of you. Because I am really extraordinarily an introvert. I prefer to eat alone, sleep alone, drink alone, do everything alone. I rather not be disturbed by any humans or even animals. But it is my misfortune, this club obliges all the members to speak and I have to take part, like it or not. So my title of my speech is The Elephant in the Room. Of course, the elephant is me, because I'm going to talk about myself. Hopefully after this, you can appreciate me a little bit better. You don't judge me wrongly. You might think that I'm arrogant or conceited or too proud to mix with the rest of you. It's not that. I just don't like to mix with humans. I like my own company. And of course, one way to overcome that is to pick up public speaking. Now, we all know about public speaking. The phobia of public speaking is glossophobia. That's the number one fear. But I have a number two fear. The number two fear is that when you speak and try to entertain your audience, there is no response except the only sound you hear is the air conditioning. It can be very traumatic for a person like me who needs to be appreciated. Because if you just look at me, stare blankly, I feel as if I'm the center of attention. I'm like a statue because I suddenly get lost for words and I have a problem speaking. But I actually enjoy speaking because when I speak, I will be in my own world. But to entertain is not easy because how many of us can entertain as well as Azmi, Azami, our hero friend, our Hizami? It's not easy. I don't know how about him yet because I'm the sick speaker. But after hearing them speak, I'm sure you will not vote me to be the winner. Because I have let the bar so low that as long as I participate, I give my speech, I am happy. The important thing is to finish your speech, to be able to share what you want to share. And unlike some people who have been practicing as if they are TED speakers 300 times, I prefer spontaneity. Because to entertain means you have to be natural. If you can't be funny, you just can't be funny. Don't force it. And I did try to be a good public speaker. I did try to write a script. I did try to practice. And I did practice twice in front of my cat. The cat just walked away before I even started a sentence. And that can be so heartbreaking. You don't know how it feels. I spent the whole day in bed crying. That's why I couldn't really prepare this speech today. But the point is, at the end of the day, it does not matter. What matters most is to come up here before you, speak with some confidence, with some belief, and hopefully you can be entertained. What do I expect from an audience response? Nothing. I have very low expectations. If you think I speak well, great. I'm so grateful. If you think I could improve, thank you. I'm always trying to improve. That's why I've been in public speaking for, more than 15 years? Wow. And that's not an easy achievement because to go to a club meeting and speak and speak and speak, it is very expensive, first of all. Because I remember those days in Toastmasters, to attend 2 or 3 meetings per day means you pay for petrol, pay for toll, and office parking is never cheap. And it's all at their own expense. For what? As they say, syok sendiri only. But I wanted to improve, and that's why I did what I did. In fact, I remember most of my speeches were using props. because I thought I do not want to be there at the center of attention. So I rather hide behind a prop. One of my speeches was about Coca-Cola, because as you know or may not know, I drink Coke every day, every morning. At least 1 or 2 cans per day. And I've been doing it for the last 20 years. I'm still alive. And in fact, that one speech that I gave at one club in Sri Petaling, one person was so impressed that immediately after I finished speaking, he went to the vending machine and got himself a can of Coke. But he's a selfish burger because he didn't buy me one. Another speech was about nasi lemak. I brought a packet of nasi lemak. Boy, it was difficult because nasi lemak, the bungkus one, I have to buy in the morning. And I keep it in my bag. Every time the smell of the nasi wafted, I wanted to eat it. But I was so tempted, I have to stop myself from doing it because that was supposed to be my prop. Because nasi lemak is like a speech. To enjoy it fully, you have to wrap it up one by one. And the creme de la creme of the nasi lemak is a samban. So in any speech, it must always be sweet and spicy because it must carry a message that resonates with the audience. And of course, I remember my biggest speech of all that qualifies me up to the national level was the one about using the cockroach. And I used a live cockroach. But I had to tie a string around it so that it doesn't fly away and scare the hell out of women in front. But it was a good speech because we always underestimate the cockroach. The cockroach is a survivor. And for people like me, I want to be a survivor because I am so afraid of all of you. And if I can be like the cockroach, be resilient, persevere, have that stamina, I believe in time I will be as good as all these entertaining speakers. In the meantime, I can only try, and if you are entertained, I am so grateful. Thank you.